to get going. Gotta catch those runners taking off like a Boeing. If the volume spikes, then it's time to trade. Mighty 90 setting up, it's time to get paid. Navigation trading on the mic, time to get focused. We don't need any indicator, hocus pocus. It's all about the price, just watch it move. Manage your risks so you don't lose. First hour of trading is all we need. Focus on the patience and forget about greed.
Focus on the patience and forget about greed, my friends. That is the motto. S&P futures down 23, NASDAQ down 102, Russell down 13, Dow down 162. Looks like the Russell is slightly the weakest. Gold's down about 0.25%. Silver is up about 0.39. Notes and bonds a little bit red. 10-year yield up 0.4%. Oil is up 1.7%. Natural gas up 2.5%. Soybeans and wheat are green. Corn's a little bit red. Euro and the pound both down about 1/3 to 0.5%, and Bitcoin's down 0.5%. VIX up 4%, 20.42 at the freeze. Good morning, everyone. I will be doing a 1 DTE near the open with the VIX up 4%. Biggest movers on my list, we've got Lemonade. Let's see. That had earnings. Lemonade is up 11%. Fig had earnings. It's up 7%. SMCI is up 5%. Hims is up a little bit. Handful of green. On the red side, Klarna down 16%. Affirm down 4%. Carvana only down 4% after being down over 20% last night after earnings. Big rebound. But other than that, see if we can catch some runners today. Why didn't you hold, paper hands? Hey, you caught a piece of it. You can never expect to catch the exact top and bottom, Watson. You got a piece. That's all you got to be happy about. $9, yeah. It's a lot. I mean, don't mind that it moved 80. Who cares? You got 9. You're only entitled to what your trade did. Got the opening bell in less than a minute. All right, market opening right now. TOS showing the expected range in SPX at about 45, a little over 45.1. VIX is not printed yet, so we'll see what the anneal special prints at. got PLTR coming down. We've got SMCI pushing higher. So Tesla, quick break below pre-market lows. I'm gonna load up some Tesla puts, some poots. I'll be trading the 1 DTE in everything today. For Tesla 1 DTEs, I would trade the 402.5s. $49.13. Yeah, so it's about 3.5, 4 points higher than the TOS one. Okay. I'm going with the Neil version. All right, 1 DTE just filled. Let me get that posted. It held, Anil's held to the tick yesterday before the sell-off. All right, Tezzy staying weak. Netflix trying to go green. Meta had a little dip. It's bouncing. NVIDIA, right at previous day low. Microsoft dipped into the red. It's trying to bounce. Netflix pushing up into green territory up to pre-market highs. Apple trying to go green. Amazon trying to go green. All right, Tesla bouncing back up to pre-market highs, pre-market low. I've got the 402.5 puts loaded in Tezzy. AMD going green, SNDK going green, SMCI is strong. Banks are all red. Intel pushing down. Hood flushed previous day low. It's trying to bounce. PLTR also kind of at its pre-market lows. Tesla, nice reaction off of it. It bounced back up to pre-market lows and came back down. S&P and NASDAQ still within their first 5-minute range. IWM is pushing lower. Bitcoin's pushing lower. I still have my Bitcoin swing trade from yesterday. I've got an order at $1 to close 8 of 15 as posted. Microsoft new lows. NVIDIA new low. S&P, NASDAQ pushing through pre-market lows. Tezzy back through lows. PLTR, I'm going to load up some PLTR puts here. I would trade the 1 DTE. I would trade the 132 puts in PLTR. Bitcoin kind of bouncing now. AMD bouncing, going green. SMCI is at pre-market highs, and it's up 6%, up 5.5% right now. SMCI calls, I would trade the 32 calls in SMCI. SMCI is already kind of bouncing. NVIDIA breaking lower. S&P, NASDAQ staying weak. Russell's trying to bounce. All right, getting a pretty aggressive bounce in Bitcoin and the indices. I'm going to load up some puts in NVIDIA. I would trade the 185 puts in NVIDIA if I get in. We're getting kind of an aggressive bounce here. It almost looks like we wanted to flush that level and bounce. SMCI is still kind of holding right. I'll just push through highs of day now. Right off that pre-market high. Could have been nice in SMCI. PLTR pop back up above pre-market lows, or kind of chopping around that level. SMCI back down now. NVIDIA back to lows. PLTR climbing back above pre-market lows now. Nvidia ticked a new low. Tesla still chopping near lows. Everybody hear me okay? Jonathan's saying audio's good. Okay. Okay. Looks like it's Jonathan causing the issues again. Jonathan! All right. Well, SMCI kind of came back down, ticked a new high. PLTR showing some strength now. Chips dipping, SMH falling. Meta big bounce. Nvidia weak, Amazon weak. Amazon kind of trading near pre-market lows. Bitcoin now trying to go green. I needed a little bit more of a flush before that happened, but
order partially filled. Order filled.
so far looks like previous day lows holding in SPY and IWM and Bitcoin. And QQQ never quite got down there. I'm gonna load up some Amazon puts. Not sold on the shorts here, but just getting them ready. 202.5 puts on Amazon. Okay, we're getting an aggressive bounce now. Amazon's bouncing right back to pre-market lows. It's not as aggressive of a bounce, though. Let's see if the indices hold this strength or not. Tesla back up to pre-market lows as well. Goog holding under previous day low. All right, Nvidia new lows, showing some weakness coming back in. I'm watching Amazon. I'm watching the 202.5 puts in Amazon. I'm going to take Amazon puts. Filled at $1.69. Starting to see some weakness come back into the indices. Amazon holding under the pre-market lows. I would bail if it popped back up above this current candle that it's in. See if we can get some continuation down to lows of day and beyond. We need the market to stay weak here, though. Amazon kind of popping back up now. Nvidia weak. It's pushing through lows. Tesla's still chopping under pre-market lows. Well, not the move in Amazon I was looking for. I will cut Amazon here quickly if it doesn't reverse. Tesla popping back above pre-market lows now, or right at it. Watching Amazon. I may need to just cut this one. Give it a minute. PLTR showing strength. Apple bouncing, Google bouncing. Still watching Tesla for a potential short too, but I want to see weakness in the market. This thing's just kind of look like it may be going back to lows, but it's kind of holding now still. If I trade Tesla, it would be the 402 half puts. I'm going to take the puts in Tesla. 402.5 puts filled at 360 and 365. All right, so now I want to see some weakness hold below here. Amazon's starting to bounce. Now the Qs and S&P kind of bounce as well. Watching Amazon for a cut. Got about 30 seconds left on this candle in Amazon. Probably going to cut Amazon here. S&P and NASDAQ just kind of chopping, but holding better than I wanted to see. All right, I got my order ready to cut Amazon here. All right, I'm cutting Amazon. Filled at 129. Now Tesla kind of popping up. Might be a quick cut in Tesla too if it doesn't reverse back down. Seeing a little bounce in the chips. AVGO is pushing. AMD popped up. SNDK popped up.
Order partially filled. Order filled.
All right, I'm going to have to
Order
cut
filled.
Tesla here if it doesn't reverse quickly. Getting a little pullback in Tesla. Probably put a little too much weight thinking that the indices were going to make another leg lower here. But we'll see. I'm going to cut Tesla if it doesn't come back down. Google bouncing, Amazon still bouncing. All right, I'm going to cut Tesla. Cut at 292. All right, so it's kind of looking now like that bounce, that hold is continuing like it was kind of a flush and bounce in the indices. Bitcoin still bouncing. AMD up to pre-market highs. NVIDIA back above previous day low. Netflix acting strong. It just pushed above previous day high. Microsoft, big bounce. Meta trying to go green. Apple trying to go green. Amazon about to go green. Oh, got caught on the wrong side of that one. Those two. So NASDAQ just ticking above its first 5 minutes. S&P a little bit stronger. Russell just kind of ticking above its first 5 minute range. Oh yeah, OPEC's calendar. Yes, I will be doing that today. Good. Thank you for the reminder. I did not post that in the trade plan. Let me do that really quick. PLTR had that early weakness, and then it's been kind of going straight up here. Chips had that early weakness, and a lot of these are getting strong. AVGO's green, AMD above pre-market highs. PLTR about to go green. Netflix pushing. Amazon up to highs of day. Tesla approaching previous day low. Apple rejected again, trying to go green. Same with Meta. Be back in 1 minute. I'm going to load up some calls on AMD. Just kind of broke through that pre-market level or overnight high. If I trade AMD, I would trade the let's go with the 202.5s. Microsoft rejecting at previous day high a little bit. I'm watching AMD to see if it reacts off this level with the 202.5 calls in AMD if I get in. Amazon rejecting, trying to go green. S&P, NASDAQ pulling back a little bit. Bitcoin pulling back a little bit. Banks are staying weak. Robinhood pushed into the green. Coinbase, MSTR, Circle all bouncing. Coinbase had the biggest bounce. PLTR tried to go green, getting rejected a little bit. Watching AMD, it's right at that level. See if it's going to be one of those days where we sweep the pre-market lows, sweep the pre-market highs, and then kind of dance around in the middle. Kind of feels that way a little bit. AMD rejecting. All right, AMD's starting to bounce here. Watching AMD. Microsoft popped right back up. I'm going to take AMD here. Filled at 323. S&P, NASDAQ's a little dip. Trying to get bought back up. See if AMD can make a push through highs of day here. I'll put my first profit target at 380 in AMD. Let's make it 370. Right near previous day high here if it can make a quick pop. Microsoft, nice dip and rip. It kind of rejected previous day high and then came back down to that level and ripped right back up. Netflix looks good too, pulling back to previous day high. AVGO pushing, MU bouncing, SNDK going through highs. Need some continuation out of AMD here. NVIDIA trying to get through highs. Tesla's still pushing. It's up to previous day low.
Order partially filled. Order filled.
AMD approaching highs of day. Need a little bit of a push through. Microsoft, what a rip. Amazon at highs of day. Google pushed high. IWM new highs. S&P and NASDAQ trying to go green. AVGO pumping. SMCI kind of fell back. No push through in AMD yet. Had some aggressive bounces in some of these other chip stocks too. AMD approaching highs again. S&P, NASDAQ pulling back. Come on, AMD. Get up there, little buddy. Seeing a little weakness come in the indices now.
Order partially filled. Order filled. Order cancelled.
AMD trying to hold, but no push through. Microsoft staying strong. Apple rejected. Amazon rejecting. Google rejection. Netflix still holding above previous day high. I do like Netflix too. SNDK is pushing. AVGO still pushing. MU still bouncing. SMH is bouncing. It's above previous day low. S&P, NASDAQ, Russell still pulling back. Bitcoin pulling back. Microsoft, new highs. Tesla rejecting at previous day low. Crypto's coming back down. Banks staying weak. JP Morgan rejecting. Goldman, Bank of America all below previous day low. PLTR just kind of hovering unchanged here, trying to push through. I like the momentum of AMD, but it just kind of has stalled out with everything. Everything's kind of stalled out. We need the indices to kind of dip and rip here. All right, AMD cracking a new high. I've got my profit target in AMD still at 370. It's getting close. It's touching it. It's touching my order. Did not fill. Come on. Come on. There we go. Filled at 370. Now let's see if we get some real legs. It's right at previous day high. The next level I have marked on my AMD chart's a little above 204. and that would be a level that I have marked on my hourly chart here where just, oops. Where we had a bunch of touches at this level basically last week, several different times. It kind of used that level as support. So I definitely want to take some off before we get there. Take some more off before we get to that point. And then I would leave some runners to see if we break through. So let's see, I started with 16, took off 9. So I'll take 4 off. I'm going to put my profit target at, let's see what, 440. That's too high. I'll just put it at $4. So next profit target in AMD at $4. AVGO rejecting previous day high. SNDK right there. AMD a little reaction off previous day high so far. Microsoft pulling back to previous day high again. Netflix couldn't hold. Goog could not stay green. Tezzy chopping around previous day low. Meta had that little bounce, but can't really get above pre-market highs yet. Acting like it may want to. All right, AMD rejecting now. I'm going to have to cut my remaining AMD here. If it doesn't bounce. AMD's dip getting bought up a little bit. PLTR making new highs. SNDK surging through previous day high. All right, AMD holding for now. Netflix trying to move back up. I just loaded up some 79 calls in Netflix if it wants to reclaim previous day high with some momentum. Keep an eye on that. S&P, NASDAQ trying to bounce. Russell trying to bounce. Bitcoin trying to get back in the green. See if AMD can get back up to highs and beyond here. It's trying. Tezzy new highs of day. Meta did pop. Kind of popped up, ticked through highs of day. All right, seeing some good strength come in now. Nvidia going green. All right, kind of an aggressive bounce here in Netflix. Oh wait, I'm already at my, never mind, I've already taken 3 trades. No Netflix for me. That would be cheating. That would be going over my maximum rules, Watson. Why didn't you call me out? I was getting ready to take a 4th trade potentially, and you didn't say a word. There you go. All right, AMD's little bounce getting pushed back down now. I'm gonna have to cut AMD if it doesn't rebound. Look like it may have some more legs, but it's getting shut back down. Netflix rejecting too. All right, I'm gonna cut my AMD here. 271.
Order cancelled.
All right, so got caught on the wrong direction. I really kind of had, based
Order
on the
filled.
price action early,
Order
I had
cancelled.
maybe a little too heavy of a
Order
bias.
partially
Thinking that
filled.
S&P and NASDAQ were going to kind of push another leg lower, and it didn't. Ended up ripping, so I got caught in Tesla and Amazon for a couple losses. Made a small win, small winner in AMD. So gonna be a red day for me today, but I don't know. Manage risk well. Just kind of got caught on the wrong side on those first 2. The other thing is, I usually only am in 1 trade at a time, unless I've hit a profit target, and I had 2 full positions. So not something I typically like to do, but again, I kind of like the downside there. Just didn't happen. So is what it is. All right, all. That's it for today's stream. We'll be back for Power Hour. I will be doing the OPEX calendar during Power Hour. So for those interested in trading that, I think what I'm going to do is I'll probably do one of the trades in toss, and I'll do the method that I did last month. If you are not familiar with what that is, make sure you watch that in the course. It's kind of the updated method where I'm buying a cheap out of the money put to avoid the whole issues that Schwab has. If you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure you watch the video. So I'll probably do one in toss just to kind of do that as an example, but I'm going to do multiple other trades in my IBKR account just because it's cleaner and I don't have to mess with that. So I'll do both to share. So if you have toss, you'll have the idea of what I would do, and then IBKR, you'll have that idea as well. So that's the plan. Everybody have a good rest of your day. See you in Power Hour. Cheers.